Yo, it's Ross, and today I wanted to discuss the different methods of steeping tea and help you figure out which one might be right for you. The most obvious way that you might get tea is to go buy it prepackaged at, let's say, the grocery store. And in that case, you're going to be getting a ready made iced tea product, which you could, if you wanted to, heat up to have hot tea. But in that case, since it is prepackaged, you're not going to get something that's as quality and as flavorful as something that you could make yourself. Another way you might get tea is by steeping using a tea bag. And if you go to your local grocery store here in America, chances are if you're in the tea and coffee aisle and you see some tea, it's going to be a prepackaged tea bag like Lipton, for example. So one advantage to using a tea bag is that it's relatively easy to use. You sort of just boil your water and then you dunk your tea bag. You might have a string with it. You just kind of dunk it in and out, and that'll get the flavor infused into the tea. The disadvantage is that a prepackaged tea bag is generally going to have a finer cut of the tea leaves, and it's going to be a bit lower quality than if you purchase a loose leaf tea. And so with a loose leaf tea, you might be able to get 2 to 4 steepings out of it before it loses its flavor. Whereas with a prepackaged tea bag, you're probably only going to get one steeping, maybe two, before you get that sort of flavor loss. Then, of course, you have loose leaf tea, which I myself am a big proponent of. And with loose leaf tea, it's going to be more durable than a prepackaged tea bag. You can get 2 to 4 steepings out of it generally. And you can use either an infuser, like I had demoed earlier, like those little strainer things, or you can go and buy some tea bags and fill them up yourself, in which case you have sort of the convenience of the tea bag combined with the durability of the loose leaf tea. Yeah, so the only disadvantage there if you're filling up your own tea bags is, of course, there's a little bit of extra work to do on your end as opposed to buying the prepackaged tea bags. And I also find loose leaf tea to be more flavorful than a prepackaged tea bag or just an iced tea off the shelf. And additionally, since you don't have to worry about like a plastic tea bag, you can more readily compost the loose leaf tea. So the last steeping method that I want to discuss today is tea concentrate. In Russian, it's called Zavodka. And this goes back to like 17th century Russia when you wanted to have like a tea party and share tea with a bunch of people rather than steeping a bunch of individual cups or making a big pitcher of iced tea. What you would do is you would sort of double your recipe in terms of how much tea leaves you would use to your amount of water. And so you would make this heavily concentrated tea that you'd be able to store or transport. And then later you would just pour in your hot water. And so you would turn your cold concentrated tea into a hot tea for your tea party or your grandma coming over or what have you. And so again, the advantage of this is that it's going to be easier to store and to transport than like a prepackaged thing of iced tea. And then if you want to have hot tea, you just add your hot water and it's going to be less hot than a freshly steeped boiling cup or pitcher, and it's going to be more ready to drink after you've diluted it. Yeah, honestly, my mom would do that, make the Zavodka all the time, and I didn't understand it, and I thought it was silly. But like now that I kind of understand the context of it, it makes sense for making a tea to share with multiple people. So there you have it. Those are the different steeping methods of making different teas. I would encourage you to try out loose leaf tea. Of course, make sure you have an infuser or buy some tea bags to fill up yourself. If you go to a cafe, they're probably just going to sell you a prepackaged tea bag, and that's fine. Definitely, it's a good place to start. Uh, One thing I would watch out for is like my first time trying to use loose leaf tea, I didn't realize that you needed that infuser strainer thing, so I just put the tea leaves in there and drink it like that, and I was like, this sucks. Am I trying to drink a salad or what's going on? So don't do that. Uh, Definitely get in an infuser or get some tea bags and enjoy.